I asked someone the other day to describe democracy, and they went, food?
The youth of Australia are living in a time when we as a nation can freely view our opinions in many different ways. But what about the youth who don't want to have their voices heard, or don't feel there is any point?
I don't know, just politics just really aren't that interesting.
A lot of our family, we really, yes, we have views and opinions, obviously, but we'll go with the flow with whatever's happening.
It's something that has to be done personally. I don't think that you can. It starts getting a little bit full on if you're getting your government shoved down your throat all the time.
Politics is a really important part of our lives, but nobody really cares.
It is said that young people aren't interested and they don't care about politics and they're not, contributing to their community. And I sort of say, okay, switch that back. What are we doing, or what could we be doing as members of the community to ensure that, we're involving young people?
In Tribunal at the moment, the council are trying to start getting, some of the grade 10 students down to the council chambers to sit in on meetings and just get them understanding more about it, because they've realised that the younger kids don't understand.
I'm not, clean in all this, definitely I take what I have for granted.
I think you've just got to start talking to kids more about it, but not using the big terminologies. Simplify it. I'm sure it can be done. There's always another word for something.
In school, I remember them talking about politics, but I don't know what the hell they said. And I just remember not really being that interested, because who really wants to hear about politics when there's cartoons on the TV?
You never actually delve into politics and, federal government or whatever.
The federal government at the moment is obsessed with vocational and professional training. That's not what education is about. Vocational and professional training is easy to do, right? What's hard to do is to educate people.
And they wonder why younger kids don't agree with council or don't want to understand what politics is about.
I don't even think we devoted a full term to it.
And because we're not engaging with people at that level, so we're not getting people engaged with the fundamental issues of their lives, which are the ethical and political issues, why would they be interested in politics? Politics has become disengaged from people's lives. It's not actually about what matters anymore, and it's full of dishonesty anyway, so why would you care about it?
It's hard to be interested in something you don't trust. It's really hard to be interested in something you don't trust.
So, if the youth aren't being educated enough in politics, what is a viable way for youth to find out what's going on in the political world?
The Chasers is definitely a good way of getting across to young people, because pretty much everyone I know loves Chasers or CNN.
They seem to put everything in perspective a bit, when they were going up and fooling around with John Howard when he was going on his walks and stuff and giving him a hard time and giving all these politicians a hard time. They're right there next to them. They're not getting hit in the face by a security guard or tackled or anything, and it made everything seem a bit more like, hang on, he's just a man, John Howard's just a guy.
One of the jokes is the "this person votes" joke, where they'll just have somebody say something stupid and then stamp it up there.
The thing is with politics that there's no information anywhere. If you want to find out about it, you have to go on the internet, but I'd rather go on porn.
Which brings up the question, if people don't want to vote, should they be forced to?
The whole question about compulsory and non-compulsory voting is huge, and I don't actually have a clear position on it. I don't know whether I think it is good that you have to tell people in the community that you have to vote, and therefore there's the risk of people just voting, or they still choose not to vote. Some people choose to pay the fine because they don't want to vote.
I always vote for the person with the coolest name.
Voting for the name that you've heard of can be as risky as not voting at all.
I go, well, why didn't you have your say? They're giving you the chance to have your say, and you're not taking it.
It's a big ask to ask kids to be interested in men in suits and briefcases and sitting around talking. I think that you look at Question Time or any sort of Parliament thing on TV and it probably resembles a lecture or a classroom a little bit too much for any kids to be sort of really interested in.
Okay, let's see what. I accuse you, Mr. Speaker. And then it's like a classroom of like kids. It's ridiculous.
There's so many different mediums of entertainment now that it's just it's hard to get anyone. It's hard to get myself to get my iPod out of my ears long enough to pick up a newspaper or switch on the telly and put some news on.
We are a very complacent generation with everything, not just politics, everything. If we can find an easier way out of it, we will.
If something happens in the community and you don't like it, what do you do about it? If you don't understand the political system, or the political system isn't, open and accessible to you, then how do you voice your opinion about things that are important to you?
I'd like to get more involved, but at the same time, because I don't understand as much as what I would like to know, I don't feel I should get involved.
You got to take a stand. I don't think that there's a lot of other ways that you can be heard.
You've got people who are going, no, we are going to get a group of people together, and we are going to try and do something, but then they just get shut down completely, and that's what makes people go, well, no one's listening to us. What the hell's the point?
Maybe going to rally isn't the current generation's way to express themselves. What is a way that young people express themselves? How could young people then go about doing that in a way that hit with the politicians?
I don't think so. I don't believe that at all. I think there is power in a group of people with one voice in one place.
I get very worked up about things, but I don't always actually go and try and do something about it because I go, I'm one voice, what's going to happen?
That's society all over, man, in a nutshell. That's how everything is these days. Everyone's just, my friends don't want it, so I don't want it. Yeah. You just go, everyone's a sheep these days. I
think it's really important that you feel like you have like you have had some sort of say in where the country, like that we take responsibility as a people, as a nation, we take responsibility for our leaders because we voted them in.
The world is getting smaller, like we can have, friends over the internet from Argentina that we've never met. But political world still seems so far away.